Session 6, January 24th, 1981. I am Ra. I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. I communicate now. We would like to continue the material from yesterday. We had to create, we had to cease before we were done. I am Ra. This is well with us. We proceed now with the third area of teach learning concerning the development of the energy powers of healing. The third area is the spiritual complex, which embodies the fields of force and consciousness, which are the least distorted of your mind-body-spirit complexes. The explorations and balancing of the spirit complexes is indeed the longest and more subtle part of your learned teaching. We have considered the time as a tree. The mind controls the body. With the single mind pointed, balanced, and aware, the body comfortable in whatever basis and distortions make it appropriately balanced for that instrument, the instrument is then ready to proceed with the great work. That is the work of wind and fire. The spiritual body, energy field, is a pathway or channel. The body and mind are receptive and open then. The spirit can become a functioning shuttle or communicator for the entity's individual energy of will upward from the streamings of the creative fire and wind downward. The healing ability, like all other, what is this instrument would call paranormal abilities, is affected by the opening of a pathway or shuttle into intelligent infinity. There are many upon your plane who have a random hole or gateway in the spirit energy field, sometimes created by the ingestion of chemicals, such as what this instrument would call LSD, who are able randomly and without control to tap into energy source. They may or may not be entities who wish to serve. The purpose of carefully and consciously opening this channel is to serve in a more dependable way, in more commonplace or usual way, as seen by the distorted complex of the healer. To others, there may appear to be miracles. To the one who has carefully opened the door to intelligent infinity, this is ordinary. This is commonplace. This is as it should be. The life experience becomes somewhat transformed, and the great work goes on. At this time, we feel these exercises suffice for your beginning. We will, at future time, when you feel you have accomplished that which is set before you, begin to guide you into a more precise understanding of the functions and uses of this gateway in the experience of healing. I've been asked if it's possible for Tom Flattery to attend one of these communication sessions tomorrow. Are you familiar with the entity Tom Flattery? I am Ra. This mind-body-spirit complex sound vibration of Tom Flattery is acceptable. We caution you to carefully instruct this entity in the frame of mind and various aptitudes which it must understand before it is conducted into the circle. I'm not quite sure what you meant by appurtenance. I was referring to the symbolic objects which trigger the instrument's distortions towards light love. The placement of loving acceptance them by all present is important in the nurturing of this instrument. Therefore, the appurtenances involved must be described and their presence explained in your own words of teach learning. For you have the proper attitude for the required results. He'll understand me. We'll be very careful to totally inform Tom before he attends. Thank you very much. It seems to me that this might be an appropriate time to include a little more historical background of yourself, possibly information having to do with where you came from prior to the involvement with planet Earth, if this is possible. I am Ra. I am with the social memory complex, of which I am a part. One of those who voyaged outwards from another planet within your own solar system, as this entity would call it. The planetary influence was that you call Venus. We are a race old in your measurement. We were at the sixth dimension. Your physical beings were that you would call golden. We were tall and somewhat delicate, our physical bodies complex coverings, which you call integument, had a golden luster. In this form, we decided to come among your people. Your peoples at that time were much unlike the physical appearance, as you might call it. We thus did not mix well with the population, and were obviously other than they. Thus our visit was relatively short, for we found ourselves in the hypocritical position of being acclaimed as other than your other selves. This was the time during which we built the structures in which you show interest. How did you journey from Venus to this planet? We used thought. Would it be possible to take one of the people at the time from our planet and place them on Venus? Would he survive? Were conditions much different? The third density conditions are not hospitable to the life forms of your peoples. The fifth and sixth dimensions of that planetary sphere are quite conducive to growing, learning, and teaching. How were you able to make the transition from Venus, and I assume the sixth dimension, which would be that invisible when you reached here? Did you have to change your dimension to walk on the Earth? You will remember the exercise of the wind. The dissolution into nothingness is the dissolution into unity, for there is no nothingness. For the sixth dimension, we are capable of manipulating by thought the intelligent infinity present in each particle of light or distorted light, so that we were able to clothe ourselves in a replica in the third density of our mind, body, spirit complexes in the sixth density. We were allowed to experiment by the council which guards this planet. Where is this council located? This council is located in the octave or eighth dimension of the planet Saturn, taking its place in the area which you understand in third dimensional terms as the rings. Are there any people such as you'd find on Earth or any of the other planets in this solar system? Do you request space-time present information or space-time continuum information? Both. At one time space, in what is your past, there was a population of third density beings upon a planet which dwelt within your solar system. There are various names by which this planet has been named. The vibratory sound complex most usually used by your people is Maldak. These entities, destroying their planetary sphere, thus were forced to find room for themselves upon this third density, which is the only one in your solar system at the time-space present which was hospitable and capable of offering the lessons necessary to decrease their mind-body-spirit distortions with respect to the law of one. How did they come here? They came through the process of harvest and were incarnated through the process of incarnation from your higher spheres within this density. How long ago did this happen in our years? I am having difficulty communicating with this instrument. We must deepen her state. This occurred approximately 500,000 of your years ago. Thanks. Is all of the Earth's population then, human population on Earth, all of them originally from Maldak? I am Ra. This is a new line of questioning and deserves a place in its own. The ones who were harvested to your sphere from the sphere known before its dissolution as other names, but your peoples as Maldak, incarnated many within your Earth's surface rather than upon it. The population of your planet contains many various groups harvested, other second dimension and recycled third dimension spheres. You are not all one race or background of beginning. The experience you share is unique to this time-space continuum. I think it would be appropriate to discover how the law of one acts in this transfer of beings to our planet and the action of harvest. I am Ra. The law of one states simply that all things are one, that all beings are one. There are certain behaviors and thought forms consonant with the understanding and practice of this law. Those who, finishing a cycle of experience, demonstrate various grades of distortion of that understanding of thought and action will be separated by their own choice into the vibratory distortion most comfortable in their mind-body-spirit complexes. This process is guarded or watched by those nurturing beings who, being very close to the law of one and their distortions, nevertheless have the distortion towards active service. Thus, the illusion is created of light, or more properly, by less understandable light, love. In varying degrees of intensity, the spirit complex of each harvested entity moves along the line of light until the light grows too glaring, at which time the entity stops. This entity may have barely reached third density, or may be very, very close to the ending of third density, light, love, distortion, vibratory complexes. Nevertheless, those who fall within this octave of intensifying love light then experience a major cycle during which the opportunities are many for the discovery of distortions, which are inherent in every entity, and, therefore, the lessening of these distortions. What is the current length in our years of one of those cycles currently? One major cycle is approximately 25,000 of your years. There are 3 cycles of this nature, during which those have progressed may be harvested. At the end of 3 major cycles, that is approximately between 75 and 76,000 of your years, are harvested regardless of their progress, for during that time the planet itself has moved through the useful part of that dimension and begins to cease being useful for the lower levels of vibration within that density. What is the position of this planet with respect to progression of the cycle at this time? I am Ra. This sphere is at this time in 4th dimension vibration. Its material is quite confused due to the society's memory complexes embedding in the consciousness. It has not made an easy transition to the vibrations which beckon. Therefore, it will be fetched with some inconvenience. Is this inconvenience imminent, within a few years? I am Ra. This inconvenience or disharmonious vibration complex has been several of your years in the past. It shall continue unabated for a period of approximately 30 of your years. After this 30-year period, I am assuming we will be fourth dimension or fourth density planet. Is that correct? I am Ra. This is so. Is it possible to estimate what percentage of the present population will inhabit the fourth density planet? The harvesting is not yet, thus estimation is meaningless. Does the fact that we are in transition period now have anything to do with the reason that you have made your information available to the population? I am Ra. We have walked among your people. We remember. We remember sorrow. We have seen much. We have searched for an instrument of the proper parameters of distortion in mind-body-spirit complex, and supporting an understanding group of mind-body-spirit complexes to accept this information with minimal distortion and maximal desire to serve for some of your years. The answer, in short, is yes. However, we wished you to know that in our memory, we thank you. The disc-shaped craft we call UFOs, have we been said to possibly come from your planet Venus? Would any of these be your craft? I am Ra. We have used crystals for many purposes. The craft which you speak have not been used by us in your space-time present memory complex. However, we have used crystals and the bell shape in the past of your illusion. How many years ago did you use the bell-shaped craft to come here? I am Ra. We visited your people 18,000 of your years ago and did not land again 11,000 years ago. The photographs of the bell-shaped craft and reports of contact from Venus exist from less than 30 years ago. Do you have any knowledge of these reports? I am Ra. We have knowledge of oneness with those forays into your time-space present. We are no longer of Venus. However, there are thought forms created among your people from our time of walking among you. The memory and thought forms created therefore are part of your society memory complexes. This mass consciousness, as you may call it, creates the experience once more for those who request such experience. The present Venus population is no longer sixth density. Do any of the UFOs that are presently reported come from other planets here at this time, or do you have this knowledge? I am one of the member of Confederation of Planets in the service of the Infinite Creator. There is approximately 53 civilizations comprising approximately 500 planetary conscious complexes in this confederation. This confederation contains those from your own planet who have attained dimensions beyond your third. It contains planetary entities within your solar system, and it contains planetary entities from other galaxies. It is a true confederation in that its members are not alike, but allied in service according to the law of one. Do any of them come here at this time in spacecraft? In the past, say, 30 years? I am Ra. We must state that this information is unimportant. If you will understand this, we feel the information may be acceptably offered. The law of one is what we are here to express. However, we will speak upon this subject. Each planetary entity which wishes to appear within your third-dimensional time-space distortion requests permission to break quarantine, as you may call it, and appear to your peoples. The reason and purpose for this appearance is understood and either accepted or rejected. There have been many as 15 Confederation entities in your skies at any one time, the others available to you through thought. At present, there are 7, which are operating with craft in your density. Their purposes are very simple: to allow those entities of your planet to become aware of infinity, which is often best expressed to the uninformed as the mysterious or unknown. I am fully aware that you are primarily interested in disseminating the law of one. However, it is my judgment, could be wrong, in order to disseminate this material, it will be necessary to include questions such as this one. We have just asked for the purpose of creating the widest possible dissemination of material. If this is not the objective, I could limit my questions only to application of the law of one, but I understand at this time it's the objective to widely disseminate this material. Is that correct? I am Ra. This perception is only slightly distorted in your understanding learning. We wish you to proceed as you deem proper. That is your place. We, in giving this information, find our distortion of understanding of our purpose to be that not only of the offering of information, but the weighing of it in according to our distorted perceptions of its relative importance. Thus, you will find our statements at times to be those which imply that the question is unimportant. This is due to our perception that our given question is unimportant. Nevertheless, unless the question contains the potential for answer giving, may infringe upon free will, we will offer our answers. Thank you very much. We do not want to overtire the instrument. It's now considerably over normal working time. Could you tell me the condition of the instrument? The instrument is balanced due to your care. However, her physical vehicle is growing stiff. In that case, perhaps we should continue at a later time. We agree. Therefore, you have a short question and we will take our leave. The only question I have is that I must assume, since Leonard was here when you first made contact, it'd be suitable for him to be here as Tom. Is that correct? This is correct, and completes the number of those at this time able to come who are suitable. Again, remember the instructions given from the Preparatory of Vibration Sound Complex, Tom. I am Ra. I leave you in the love light of the one Creator. Go forth rejoicing in the power and the peace and the Creator, the one Creator, Adonai.